Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Want me to give you a cue card?
Yeah, really. Thinking ahead here. I'd like to welcome everybody to our meeting tonight. Roll call, please.
Karen Straffen. Here. Tom Fetter.
Here.
Tom Kruger.
Here.
Artie Bryson.
Here.
Joanne Shirkey.
Here.
John Horvath.
Here.
Cindy Valentine's here.
Okay, all here and accounted for. I'd like to amend the agenda. Under 13 in new business, hiring of casual labor of 2 people. Okay, that's a motion. Someone approve that?
I'll second it.
Oh, did you?
No, I will.
Okay, we got a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving right along, we have bills payable. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the bills payable in amount of $95,124.13.
Support. Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion, questions?
Vehicle maintenance, fire department, $750 for telescopic platform inspection. That will be split 3 ways, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
With insurance and all other expenses on that tower truck.
That's all I got.
Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Joanne Shirkey.
Yes.
John Horvath.
Yes.
Artie Bryson.
Yes.
Tom Kruger.
Yes.
Tom Fetter.
Yes.
Karen Straffen.
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next, we have public comments relating to anything on the agenda. Any public comments? Anything on the agenda? Okay, seeing none. Consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of the minutes of the board meeting of May 16, 2016, and the synopsis, the reports, the check reports, the assessing L 4029 tax rate request report, police department May report, and the fire department report. Also notices the road watch report, barrel bike bar license transfer, San Souci Market, communications, Council on Aging, a thank you, Officer Fleming resignation, Phil Pavlov legislative update, clear zoning, fire insurance withholding program, and that's it.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Is everyone in agreement with the consent agenda? Okay, all in favor of the consent agenda, signify by saying yes or aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, supervisor's report.
Oh, God. No.
That's right. Highlight of the evening, John. Police station additions moving forward. Drywall is up, and I think they're just sanding now. Getting ready to paint and the finishing steps, flooring, ceiling. We got a hard line date that the project will be done before the 27th of this month. So I know the boys and gals, they're trying to, they want to get in there and get things rocking and rolling in there. So pretty soon. Working on the budget process still. Everyone on this board knows we do have our second workshop is June 10th at 10 a.m. right here. And we did receive the numbers from the state revenue sharing of $721,362. Our phone upgrades, township-wide, have been completed. We still have, I don't know, are they all fixed? We did have some bugs. We might have 1 or 2 bugs to work out. But our new phone system's in place. And the dispatch upgrade is moving forward. We did have some dispatch or some issues with the upgrade and on the existing towers, and we're actually at the moment working them out. I did think that we had them solved, but we still have a couple issues there, and hopefully we'll get those ironed out and going forward. Finalizing the union contracts, and I have agreements with 3 of them, and still waiting with the command and the patrols, but there shouldn't be any big problem there. Also, I've been in talks with renewing the Ira police contract. I think they're actually talking about it right now in Ira. Gave them a couple options, and they do increase, or they do include a price increase to them. And water, we did receive actually a couple of days ago, Thursday or Friday, our new rate that Elginak sells us water is going to be $2.2910 per 1,000 gallons. Is up from $2.2676 per 1,000 gallons. And I reflected that in our upcoming budget. And we did have a discussion about the wastewater plant and the sewer. How it works, we share that plant with Elginak, Clay, and Ira Township. And we pay basically 35% of what's going on in there, and someone pays 30. There's someone else, I can't remember if Elginak or Ira pays 35 and the other person pays 30. It's based on usage. There is some upgrades that they want to do in there. We just had a meeting on that. The grit remover, they want to replace, and what we do, you know, we put money towards a fund to maintain that plant. And like I say, we've been doing $35,000 a year, a total of $100,000 with all 3 communities. And we always like to keep about $500,000 in this fund. And but there was a discussion that, well, next year if we do this grit remover and a couple other things that's going to go down, that balance of that slush fund will drop down in 3 years to about $150,000. So there was discussion of us increasing what we put in every year. But I don't know, I had some discussions with, and I talked to Bob McCoy, and I'm going to talk to Doug Alexander about it too. Instead of increasing, they wanted us to increase our share from 35 to, is it 52 or 57? Where am I here? 57,000 per year. But once we replace this grit remover, just about everything in this plant is going to be new. And I mean, I have a lot of faith in our water department, John DeBoyer, and he's also in agreement that, you know, if that slush fund gets down to $150,000, $175,000, there's not a whole lot that can go wrong, and it's going to get built up pretty fast. So instead of having the money in the county's coffers, you know, if we just realize that, you know, if something happens 3 years from now, you know, we might have to put a little bit more than 35 in. So unless the board wants me not to, I'm going to recommend that we keep this at 35,000. I know Bob McCoy was in agreement with me, and like I say, I'll get a hold of Doug Alexander and Elginak. The township suit, Karen Ridgway versus Clay was dismissed, which we kind of anticipated. And so that's not an issue. Roads, Holland actually they started paving today, I believe they were supposed to. I think they were going to start Friday, but it got pushed back because of weather. I'm pretty sure they started paving it today. Assessing, we're having our AMAR audit, aren't we, Barb? So that's always fun. And I'm sure they're going to get through it with flying colors. No problem. Lots of confidence in you. And as you see in our packet, I renewed our participation in the fire insurance withholding program in the state. So what that is, if a home is burnt down or more than 50% burnt, the insurance company has to pay us, what's the percentage? I think 20% or up to, I believe it was 8,000, might be 12,000, I can't remember. But they pay it to the township and we get to hold that until the structure is removed. Because what happens, a lot of people will take the insurance payoff and then just leave their burnt structure there and just walk away from it. And then eventually, you know, they don't pay their taxes, the township gets it, and we have to tear it down ourselves. So that gives us a little bit of insurance, if you will, that if we have to go on there and remove the structure, that we can recover the costs. And basically how it works, if we do that, then whatever's left goes back to the property owner, or once it's completely down, they get that money. About half of the municipalities in the state do that, basically, are in this insurance withholding program. And I was asked to basically review the golf cart ordinance. Basically, in a nutshell, you have to have a driver's license. You gotta be 16 years old, have a driver's license. And the golf cart can only be on roads that are 30 miles an hour or less. And we are requiring that it's registered with the township, and all you have to do is fill out a little form, and it's free of charge. There's no charge. You can get the forms at the dispatch or our office. I want to start putting them in our police cars too, and they can hand them out.
We've already discussed.
Okay, yeah. So, and that's basically the most the state just passed an ordinance allowing us to allow golf carts on our roads. And it's the state ordinance that they can't go on any roads that are above 30 miles an hour. And daylight hours also. It has to be during daylight. Any questions, you can give me a call, or the police, and or the ordinance is online too. Also, I want to mention our grass ordinance. You know, we have an ordinance now, if your grass is 12 inches or higher, that on a residence, we can cut it. And we don't want to be in the grass cutting business. I think we sent about 15 letters out last week, and I'm pretty sure most of those properties were taken care of this past weekend. I don't think we have to. But please, cut your grass. The last thing we want to do is go and have to cut grass for people, and it's not fair to your neighbors to have a hay field around their house. So, upcoming events, free fishing, June 11th and 12th. You don't have to have a fishing license. Yay. And the Log Cabin Day is June 26th from 1 to 4. That's always a fun event. And we're actually going to open the hall up for it to show their quilts in here. It's a lot easier. We did that a couple years ago. We're going to keep on doing that. It's a lot easier for them to display their quilts in here, and they don't get dirty and has issues. Right, and then with weather and everything else. So, Music in the Park's going to fire up pretty soon. In Elginak, June 16th. These are all Thursdays. All in One, contemporary Christian rock. And Scoreboards and More is the sponsor for that. June 23rd, Detroit Brass Society. It's pure American music. You understand what that is? Just okay. Not sure. I never heard them. Kane Clemens and Yakim and Downing sponsored. July 7th, everyone's hometown favorite, Mickey Meldrum and the Meldrum Brothers, sponsored by Gilbert Funeral Home. July 14th, Stone Soup. This Smooth R&B and LaBelle Electric is going to sponsor that. June 20, or I'm sorry, I'm saying June, it's July now. July 21st, Dogfish. It's a gigging band. Do you know what a gigging band is?
No, it's gonna.
Anybody know what a gigging band is?
We supposed to get
It's a
excited?
gig.
Yeah, it's a gig. I don't know. I'm just, hey,
I think they gig for frogs.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, a gig, you know, for frogging and, let's hope not. And that's July 21st. Then, July 28th, it moves in Clay Township Park. Burnwood's going to play there, Baxter's Insurance. So that's it for the supervisor's report.
Crap.
All right, unfinished business. Prepared I am to discuss and hopefully vote on our resolution 201607, amendment to 12621 of our zoning ordinance.
Make a motion, we adopt Resolution 2016-07, adopting ordinance amendment number 126-21 to zoning ordinance number 126 of the Township of Clay.
I will support that.
Very good. We, this tidies up a lot of definitions, and it's pretty lengthy. It tidies up definitions of greenhouses, live entertainment versus adult entertainment. It was all discombobulated into one, and I'm thinking, you know, boy, it says we can have live entertainment here when, I don't know, there was a window open maybe to bring in adult entertainment. And a lot of other definitions. I know, John, you were worried about the soil permit,
Yep, still am.
and I would say let the record show that we do have 4 outstanding soil permits: Tajmo Marina, Silent Acre Farms, Blue Water Materials, and what's the fourth one? It was
West
West
Simons.
Simons. It's West Simons,
What
but
my biggest concern is Blue Water Material, because they have got such a sizable investment, and we just took, or the planning commission took the word soil removal out and put mining in there. And then if you read all of that stuff, mining can't be 12 inches off the height of the road. So there's gonna be, you know, I mean, I understand we shouldn't probably have any more soil removals, but personally, I'd like to see at least those 4 existing
they are.
entered into the minutes or however it is, so that somebody can't come back and say, you know, I have an existing permit.
Right.
You know, that's all I'm worried about,
Okay.
because you put 40 acres on there now, which very few people have, except I have, but most people, you had that much though, didn't you? When you had your,
You don't have to worry about mine.
I
That's
understand.
defunct.
No, it was just a
Yeah,
question.
Yeah. Close.
yeah.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on this? And how all zoning, just for point of information for everyone, for changing the zoning ordinance, it has to initiate from the planning commission. They have to beat it up and pass it, then it goes to the county planning commission, and they beat it up and pass it, then it comes to our board for final approval. And we have the right to approve, deny, or amend. So,
I'd just like to thank the Clay Township Planning Commission for all their lengthy
yes,
work on this.
right. I mean,
They
this was,
spent a lot of time on this, and they came up with a really good document.
right. I would agree. Any more discussion? Hearing none, we got to do roll call on these, don't we? Yeah, that's what I thought. Roll call vote, please.
Karen Straffen?
Yes.
Tom Fetter?
Yes.
Tom Kruger?
Yes.
Artie Bryson?
Aye, yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. John Horvath?
No,
Joanne Shirkey?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. New business, we have another zoning ordinance amendment. It's Resolution 2016-16 zoning ordinance amendment to 12623.
Make a motion, we adopt Resolution 2016-16, adopting ordinance amendment number 126-23 to zoning ordinance number 126 of the Township of Clay.
Support.
Okay, a motion and support. And what this does, I actually kind of asked the planning commission to do this. Before in the ordinance, it said, if you have a commercial building, you cannot have a residence there. And we have lots of nonconformities. There's stores, say a bar that has a apartment above it, or a barber shop, or anything like that. And nowadays, they are actually promoting the idea of the shop owners living above or behind their store owners. In downtown, you can actually get grants to build lofts above businesses. And here we're saying, no, you can't do that here. And I just thought that, I think the planning commission agreed that we don't want to make it a little more difficult for a business to come in town if they so choose. And so they will be able to, within our ordinance, to have a apartment or a residential on commercial. So any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Tom Fetter?
Yes.
Tom Kruger?
Yes.
Artie Bryson?
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. John Horvath?
Yes,
Joanne Shirkey?
Yes.
Karen Straffen?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Good, I'm glad that one's. Number 2, new business, 2016 request for local millage distribution.
This is something we do every year. The county gives us a portion of their rec money, and in order to get it, we have to file a report saying how we're going to use it and what we're going to use it for, and show them some financial information from the previous year. And that's what we're doing by filing this.
You want to get on your soapbox, or should I get
No,
on
go
mine?
ahead. I have fun with it every year, it's for sure.
Yeah, this is, it is what it is, but at Clay Township, we give well over $200,000 a year to our county parks and recs, and they do a great job. There's no question about it. The only problem I have is all the money that's going up to them is based on value. And the money coming back to us is actually based on population and is based on homesteaded population. Half of our homes are in Clay Township are non-homestead, so we don't get anything for the non-homestead homes. And we do send definitely our fair share. We send up, like I said, well over $200,000, and what are we getting back this year? 40,000, 41,000. Actually, that's up because we were around 37,000. And so, and my whole, and I've been working with county parks to get a park down here, but my whole beef is the nearest county park from right here is 35 miles. And the county's not that big. And in my estimation, we probably build somewhere a county park every 5 years with all the money that we do send up there, just not one around here. So that's my spiel. I think I do it every time,
That's good.
but it is what it is, so.
Artie, what are our options?
Well, we don't have one. It was voted countywide for the millage, and how it was set up that, a portion would come back to us. So if we don't do this, we don't get any money back, basically. So that would be our option.
Yeah, okay.
So, that being said, I'll make a motion to approve the request for the local millage distribution.
Support?
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion? Is this a resolution? No. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have, this gentleman did this last year too with no hitch. He wants to approve a fireworks display July 2nd at 3230 South Channel Drive. He's licensed and insured. And he did it last year, no complaints, and It actually went well, and it was actually a nice show. We do have the right to allow him to do this with our approval, and that's what he's seeking.
We give them a permit, right?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the July 2nd fireworks on South Channel Drive by Nicholas Ownby.
Support.
Okay, we have motion, or support, motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none. And once again, the motion is for fireworks permit at 3230 South Channel Drive on July 2nd from 10 PM to approximately 10:25 PM. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next is approval for us to pay the St. Clair County and to join the Northeastern Anchor Bay Bill River watersheds. It's an amount of $1,080.71. This is a part of our requirements for our stormwater permit, our old SWIPY permit, which there again, I get on that soapbox, I can go forever.
It's as bad as the water.
Yep. So, but it is a requirement. And so that's why I brought it to the board's attention.
I'll make a motion to approve the St. Clair County Health Department watershed permit, permit in the amount of $1,080.71.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion? Other than we shouldn't have to.
Because we don't qualify under the guidelines.
Right. We shouldn't have to be forced to do a stormwater permit.
When you don't have storms.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's a real bummer.
Yeah. All right, any more discussion?
It's our government.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, fifth on the agenda, we have a request to approve firefighting 1 and 2 for Flood and Kraus and more for a total of $2,700.
I'll make a motion that we approve firefighting 1 and firefighting 2 for Sarah Flood, Nicholas Kraus, and Brian Moore.
Support.
Okay, we have motion and support. These are all cadets, aren't they?
No.
No? Two? No?
Two of them are cadets, one is turning 18, will be on the fire department,
All right, good.
the other is a part-time citizen.
Okay, very good. I just want to point out that, the cadet program actually is working because we're getting young firemen and women.
Well, yeah, one of these is a paramedic, one is a EMT.
Right.
And then the other one's a cadet.
So that's good to see. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Police Department, new addition equipment. I was talking to Mike, and this is all budgeted for this year's budget. We talked about it at the last workshop. And problem is, he needs furniture and stuff, and he's going to shop it out as cheaply as he can. But I thought to bring every little thing to our attention, let's do a project. And I told him to go high. And he said the evidence room is going to cost 10, records room fixtures is going to be 4, and then the offices will be 6,000. So I said, present it as a project, so that'll give him the flag to go out and get the best deals as he can, and it wouldn't be so cumbersome because you'd have to wait and then bring it back to us.
I told the chief I'd asked him to give it to Cindy so she could itemize the report for us with all the different. I'm joking.
I know, thank you.
Better work on your presentation.
Yeah, it didn't work. Here, I got 2 of these tonight.
Yeah, don't quit your day job and go to stand-up.
I don't know where we got the second one.
Sorry.
I got something too.
So that's what I thought we could do and make it easier on everybody and gives him the flexibility to go out and save some money shopping this stuff. So,
Are we gonna give him a budget, Artie, or is?
yeah, that's what this is.
That's, so he can't go over that?
Right.
Okay, that's all I wanna know.
Okay?
And if he needs more, I guess he's gotta come back, don't he?
Right,
With a good reason.
of course. So,
I'll make a motion,
Thank you.
we allow Chief Coach to purchase equipment for the new addition totaling $20,000, which includes $10,000 for the evidence room, $4,000 for the records room, and $6,000 for the offices.
Support?
okay, we have motion and support. Any discussion?
Just wanted to remind everybody that this was budgeted for in our current budget.
Current budget and the line items are equipment maintenance and building maintenance. So, all right, motion and support. Roll call vote.
Tom Kruger,
Yes.
Artie Bryson?
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. John Horvath?
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey?
Yes.
Karen Straffen?
Yes.
Tom Fetter?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next, there's a request for the police to purchase some new prep radios, a total of $8,037.77. There's 5 of them. And again, this was budgeted for our current budget. And he did get a couple quotes, and we're not going with the Motorola's. That's right, Chief?
Correct.
We got and you did check out, everything's good with these, I mean, the brand and warranty and,
Yes, really good feedback from everybody that has been using them. They spec right up there. And as you can see, we're getting a lot more for our money.
right,
They're Kenwoods, right?
They've been around a long time.
And we're getting 5 Kenwoods for the price of
Two.
2 Motorola's.
right.
This is also a budgeted item, so.
Yep,
I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of 5 Kenwood radios for a total of $8,037.77, which would be taken and budgeted with the communication equipment line.
Support?
okay, we have motion and support. Any more discussion on that? I used to have Kenwood speakers in college.
Do we care?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next, police department firearms purchase. And we did have a little discussion of this at our budget shop, and this is actually going to be on next year's July 1st. But you want to get up and talk about this a little bit, just so everybody knows?
Well, as we were talking in our budget workshop, I met with our insurance carrier, and there were some concerns there. And what we're doing here is trying to address those concerns. Right now, within our agency, we have officers that are carrying several different weapons. Insurance carrier does not like seeing that. They're asking us to be standardized. With that being said, that's why we went out and we actually did a test and evaluation with several different firearms. We've been doing this for probably the last 4 months now, 4 or 5 months now. Our firearms instructors, Sergeant Stockwell and Officer Smith, have been testing and evaluating these things with the manufacturers and talking with other agencies as well, with the debate of caliber size, as well as the manufacturer and the overall performance of the guns themselves. They ended up coming down to one specific gun made by Sig Sauer in both handguns and rifles. And as the recommendation from them, after all the test and evaluation, that this is the direction that we look to go.
What caliber did you decide on?
45 caliber.
Good.
Then with the rifles, it would be a .223 5.56 round. Right now, we currently, we have 5 rifles, which everybody shares them. The problem that you end up with there is these rifles all are incorporated with slings. These slings are generally set to fit one person. Well, when you get out of that, and the sighting and everything with the gun, and you have people that are left-handed opposed to right-handed. So when they get out and they've got to get out quickly, they don't have time to be trying to adjust a strap, adjust sights, anything on that rifle. With this would put each officer into their own, and they are responsible for the care and maintenance of this, with the provisions that only said adjustments can be done if approved by range masters and myself. So pretty much what we're doing here is appeasing our insurance company as well, and standardizing everything across the board. And basically, let's face it, you know, nowadays, to not have the rifles in the cars, I think is an absolute safety issue.
And they're going to purchase the rifles through payroll deduction.
Yes, and the other thing that we had been in discussions with other agencies, and what they've done in several agencies, actually with right here in St. Clair County as well, as they've gone into what is a payroll deduction on these firearms. What they do is, over a period of time after the weapons are bought through the township, there will be a payroll deduction for each officer. At the end of that payroll deduction, as long as the officer leaves within good standings of the agency, the weapon would go with them. And this contract is a contract that's set forth between them and the township. If they do not leave in good standings, or if there's any kind of criminal issue, anything like that arises with it, the gun remains property of the township with no reimbursement to the employee.
I did check, remember how I was hoping we could, the payroll withholding, we could put it back in a regular budget, but it's got to go into the forfeiture.
Okay.
So I just.
Which either way, it's still
Yeah,
there.
right.
And what we've decided is, with this drug forfeiture end of it, there's only certain things you can actually purchase out of these funds, with this being one of them.
Right. This, ammo, a few other things,
Yeah.
so.
Chief, what is the two Sig Sauer 1911 Ultras?
Those are for plainclothes officers. Instead of carrying a full frame gun, that would be for plainclothes, like you see myself, which would be our detective or lieutenant who wear plainclothes, trying to wear that full frame gun on just a normal belt. We're going to be pulling our belts up all day. Doesn't look real good. But it's a little bit smaller frame is what it is, and lighter.
And we're going to have a couple spares, right?
Correct. That's another thing that we're going to make sure of. That way, if we do have anything with a weapon malfunctioning or anything of that nature, it can be taken out of service without taking the officer out of service.
Right. Does anybody have any questions?
He answered them.
Entertain a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion to purchase the indicated firearms for our police department in the total price of $32,686.16.
Support.
Okay, a motion and support. Any more discussion?
I think that this is a real step in the right direction for
Right.
safety and
And actually, our
continuity.
total cost of this is more like 9,000 after, you know,
After payback.
after paybacks, it's actually 9,000. So just want the board to recognize that. We're getting 19, 21, lots of guns. 19 plus 2 plus 19, you can figure out 40 guns.
9,000, that's pretty good.
Roll call, any more discussion? I'm sorry. Roll call vote, please.
Artie Bryson?
Yes.
Cindy Valentine, yes. John Horvath?
Yes.
Joanne Shirkey?
Yes.
Karen Straffen?
Yes.
Tom Fetter?
Yes.
Tom Kruger?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Now we have some fun stuff. Not that the others wasn't fun. Dispatcher recognition. Bev. Is Kathleen here? Someone's
Katie,
working.
no, Katie is actually out of town.
Is Doug here?
Unfortunately, Doug is here as well.
Doug and Bev, we have to embarrass you. How you doing, Doug? I never get to see him.
You want me to go through and read this already?
What's that?
You want me to go through and
Sure.
read what I wrote? Okay, this is what I brought forward to the board. I would like to bring the following to the board's attention. On May 29th, 2016, a large storm came through the Port Huron area. The storm caused a power outage for St. Clair County Central Dispatch. Central Dispatch lost their non-emergency as well as 911 phone lines. At approximately 5:30 p.m., our dispatch was contacted by the 911 Resolution Center advising of the situation. The Resolution Center advised that due to the outage, they would be routing all of St. Clair County's 911 calls through our dispatch. Dispatchers Bev Rose, Doug Zielinski, and Katie Napier did not hesitate to take action and form a plan to handle all of the incoming calls. These dispatchers handled all of these calls, and the calls meant for both Clay and Ira Township without hesitation. This outage went on until 12:30 a.m. I'd like to commend these fine dispatchers for a job well done. I can't say enough about their dedication to their job as well as our community.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And that was, I mean, they were fielding all those 911 calls
Right.
for that amount of time through this entire county, which just showed what the caliber of our dispatch is.
I mean, I love our dispatch. It's one of our jewels.
Yes, it is.
And everybody knows here, I've gotten in a few discussions, put it mildly, with our county over it. And I remember them saying that, "You're not our backup. There is no way you could handle this."
Yeah.
And they did it on a Saturday night with high volume.
Yes, they did.
So
Let's hope you
Big
reminded them.
big kudos. I don't
Good
have to
job.
remind them. I don't have to remind them. They know. So big kudos. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
job,
Thank you
guys.
ever so much.
I'm so glad I stuck it to the camera.
All right. Next, we have Department Officer Dahl and Chartier for acknowledgement. Is anybody working?
Believe it or not, yeah.
How you doing, Karen? Okay.
Okay, well, this would be the correspondence that I sent to the board on this. On May 1st, 2016, Officer Brian Dowell and Officer Karen Chartier were at a local business when Officer Dowell noticed a man in the store that just did not seem right to him. Officer Dowell followed the subject out of the business and began talking to him. As he was talking to him, things were not adding up. Officer Chartier, then recognizing something was not right, immediately began to assist Officer Dowell. After further investigation, it was determined that the subject in question was wanted out of Missouri for a homicide that occurred the prior evening. The suspect was placed into custody and subsequently turned over to Missouri authorities. I had received phone calls from the St. Joseph's Police Department expressing to me how impressed they were with how the overall investigation was handled by our department. I could not be any prouder of professionalism and overall great police work performed by these officers. This was, I gotta say, this was very good police work, and this was that sixth sense that something wasn't right. And my personal feelings, this man was here with no money in his pockets, no gas in his car, and it was just a point that he was looking for some way to get back on that road. And I think you guys absolutely foiled what he was gonna do next, as well as put him in the custody of St. Joseph's County. And I cannot thank you enough.
Yes.
It reflects wonderful
Yeah.
on our township and our police department.
Yes, very good. And you know, I talked to the people out in Missouri, say they couldn't say enough about our whole police department, and
Well, they said, you know, the way it was handled and the way our officers knew how to handle the evidence, the chain of evidence.
Yep.
They preserved everything perfectly for them to get their evidence technicians out here, and so that there would not be a hitch when it came to prosecution.
right. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next, moving right along, we have Police Department citizen recognition and recognition for Officer Cope.
With this, we'd like to have Mrs. Sikatowski come up, if you would. Can you,
Come on, Linda.
Carolyn Main and Richard Jolly, please. And I will, let me read this here real quick. On April 22nd, 2016, there was a personal injury accident on the Dyke Road that ended with a vehicle in the water. The driver of the vehicle, Mrs. Linda Sikatowski, was still in the vehicle, breathing but not responsive. Immediately after the accident, passers-by, Carolyn Main and Richard Jolly, entered the water to render aid to Mrs. Sikatowski. Officer William Cope then arrived on scene, entered the water to assist in rendering aid. They were able to keep Mrs. Sikatowski's head above the water until rescue arrived. Officer Cope was back and forth in the cold water to help rescue and extrication of Mrs. Sikatowski. Without the quick action of these individuals, the outcome of this accident could have been much worse. I would like to extend my gratitude to Carolyn Main, Richard Jolly for making our community a better place to live. I would also like to commend Officer William Cope for going above and beyond the call of duty, reflecting what it means to be an officer with the highest integrity and the love for his community. Bill? Thank you.
Pictures.
I don't know what to say, don't remember anything, I don't know nothing.
Well, we're just glad you're here with us.
That's right. All I know is that I am so grateful, so grateful.
We got a great community, we've got great people in this community.
And
And that's
neighbors.
us as a police department.
Yes, they're neighbors.
Really, that's even better.
Yes.
And, you know, and that's the integrity we want to push forward in our police department as well. And that's what we're striving for, and that helps us even that much more with having citizens like this. Cannot thank you enough.
I am so grateful. Nobody else
Yes.
would believe me.
Yes.
I don't know what happened, I really don't.
And, you know, and that's why they're called accidents. And that's why, you know, we've got good people here with our police department as well as our fire department that are very quick in responding, and, you know, they do a wonderful job. I cannot say enough. Thank you.
Hey, Bill, stay up there. We're going to embarrass you some more. I'd like to make a motion to promote William Cope to sergeant.
Support.
Do we have any more discussion?
None.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Take that one off. We surprised Bill. He had no idea.
I've had this for 17 years now.
How long have you been here? 17 years?
17 years.
Very good.
And I started back in November of 97, left, and I came back in 99. Been
Awesome.
17 years now since 99.
No, he's not going anywhere.
Congratulations, Bill.
Yes, congratulations. Well deserved, I might add. All right, that was 12 and 13, or 11 and 12. 13, I'd like, we actually had an injury in the water department. We lost one man due to a broken ankle or torn ligaments for the whole summer, basically. And we did talk about hiring a couple of college kids or a couple casual laborers, a couple of kids, for doing primarily grass cutting in the park, in the cemetery, around the fire hydrants and that type of thing. And I'd just like the board to, and they would report to the supervisor. I'd be their direct supervisor, but they'd actually go to work at the water department to get, that's where all the grass cutting equipment is. And I'd like to recommend to the board that, or give me to hire a couple kids to do this work. We've done it in the past, I know. It's been 4 or 5 years since we have, but it makes sense to do it since the water department's so behind in their work, in their scheduled work. Plus, we're one man down now, and it makes sense to pay someone $12 an hour versus 25 or 20 plus benefits to cut grass. So if the board would allow me to do that, I will get that done.
I'll make a motion that you move forward with this.
To hire 2 casual laborers for the
Yep.
summer.
Support?
Okay, we have motion and support to hire 2 casual laborers for the summer months. I say at $12 an hour. We have motion and support. Any discussion?
Are you gonna give them an agreement or a contract to lay down what they're paying with no benefits and all that stuff?
Temporary,
It's
part-time,
going to part-time, temporary, no benefits.
Oh, okay, so they're just gonna be part-time?
Yep. So, all right, we have motion and support. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Very good. Public comments. Do we have any public comments? Come on up, state your name and address.
My name is Chris Fleischer. My address is 226 North Russell Drive. And I am here primarily tonight for 2 reasons. The first reason, and the most important reason, is I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Clay Township Fire Department and EMTs that responded to a call on Russell Island Sunday, June 5th, 2016, at approximately 9:30 a.m. As a registered nurse, I was very impressed with the care, compassion, and empathy that was shown to one of our island residents. The young man that was primarily responsible for rendering care was a gentleman by the name of Brett. I apologize for not getting all of their names. His communication skills were excellent. The thing that I noticed the most was before he even touched this gentleman, he told him exactly what he was going to do and how he was going to do it. And I really, really commend him for that because the gentleman was somewhat fearful. He repeatedly asked him if he was in pain and if he needed anything for the pain. All of the responders were kind, knowledgeable, and compassionate. So I would hope that in the event that I ever need their assistance, they would be there for me. So on behalf of Mr. Tresca's family and the Russell Island residents, please accept our deepest appreciation. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
And the second reason I am here, and it may be a little bone of contention, I don't know, regarding the golf cart ordinance, I think that as a member of the Russell Island Property Owners Association, we are in need of some type of clarification. I realize it's kind of a unique situation because the primary mode of transportation on the island is golf cart, bike, or walking.
I can probably explain it real quick if you want me to.
Okay.
I hate to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
But those roads over there aren't county roads, so they don't, this ordinance does not apply to them.
Because they are decertified?
Yes.
All right. May I ask a question?
Sure.
We recently appointed a golf cart committee.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, I'm sure that everybody is aware that the rules can apply to you, but they don't apply to me.
Sure.
I am very, very concerned about the attitude of some of our residents that don't choose to abide by the rules, such as an individual must be 16 years of age, have a driver's license to operate this type of a vehicle. No, they say to their grandkids or their nieces, nephews, go ahead, let's go for a ride. The speed with which they travel, I will tell you, it's very fearful for me, very fearful. So I guess my question would be, just because these roads are decertified, I would still think that some rules should be applicable. Can you help me out here?
Well, there's that, and enforcing it, I mean, you want a cop over there writing tickets for?
Well, I'll be very honest with you.
I mean,
I've threatened, believe me.
right. Has your homeowners association addressed it?
Like I said, we recently just formed this
Okay.
golf cart committee.
Yeah.
And we have yet to have a meeting of the board and the committee to see the type of resolutions that they have come up with. But I just felt that if we had some type of, how shall I say, support
Right.
from the police department.
You will absolutely have our support if you'd like, and if you do have a meeting with the golf cart ordinance, you can let me know. I would be more than happy to go over there and talk with your committee.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
And also, if you want, why don't you get a copy of our ordinance?
I have to.
Okay,
Yeah, I do. And I personally got one of those registrations,
Okay, good.
And that was another question. Some of them are saying, well, we don't have to do it. And so, there's kind of like in limbo.
Right.
It would probably be in their best interest to get the decal.
Absolutely. Well, as far as that goes, that's still a township ordinance.
Yeah,
And whether
right.
the
Right, they have to have it.
You're right.
That's
Yeah.
still something they're going to have to abide by township ordinance.
Okay,
So they will have to have them regardless.
all right, good.
And the logic behind that, the only reason, so if we see one abandoned or something, we know whose it is, who to call, basically. Or if you see a kid on there, we know where the cart belongs to.
I see, okay.
So it's not like we just want everyone's sticker, put a sticker on everyone's cart for no reason at all. That's the logic behind it.
Yeah.
See, and there's no charge.
No, I know that, and they know that. However, again, like I say, a lot of them don't feel that the rules apply to
Right.
them.
Well, I think
And
the chief
my-
can straighten them out.
I'm sure he will. My other concern is in regard to number 9, and then I will, it's specifically regard to the time period. And as I understand it, they shall not be operated during the time period from 1/2 hour before sunset to 1/2 hour after sunrise. Now, you know that these golf carts are driven at night on Russell Island.
From the pop stand.
We have, yeah. And, and there are occasions when my grandkids will call and say, I'm over at Ben's, will you come and get me, whatever, But I have light on
And I
my,
think that's something you'll have to address as a homeowners association over there. And come up, I think what you really need to do is come up with some guidelines, which I know you do in other areas as well. And if you come up with those guidelines, that's something that everybody needs to adhere to them. Things like that, and I mean, you are on private roads and private property over there. So, I mean, if you do come to an agreement that you can have them during these hours, but they have to be equipped with the proper lighting.
You just got flashed, baby.
Obviously, for safety reasons,
right.
it's gonna have to happen. And like I say, I'd be more than happy to come over and talk with the committee and try to give any input that I might have.
We would really appreciate that. And I thank you very much for your time. And again, you have kudos to the fire department, to the EMTs, and to all you fine gentlemen that are in the police department. I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Like I say every time I get a chance, you know, our first responders, both our fire and police, and I'll throw the water in there too, you know, they are our real heroes. You know, they are our real heroes, and they're also the heartbeat of our community too. So they definitely got our best interests at hands. Any more public comments? No more public comments, not seeing anyone. Doesn't anyone want to roast Billy Cope here? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Board member comments?
Nope.
No?
The only thing I can mention is that before Planning Commission this Wednesday is the restaurant down there that was Sunset Bay is coming back to renew their permit
Right.
that expired. And they're gonna put a tiki bar out. Anybody interested to attend that is welcome.
And we're going to start working on our new Parks and Rec plan.
Yes, that's on the fourth Wednesday, our second meeting, our workshop meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. Mr. Horvath?
Well, the only thing I can say is as a senior citizen, I'm very gratified to have all this fantastic people around me.
Good.
Good.
Thank you.
And I want to thank Cindy for my ears. It's been a long time since I got so much out of a board meeting. I mean, I can hear everybody in the back.
What are you thinking back there?
There's a fly crawling on the wall back
I
there.
see it.
You
and I'm
hear it?
good-
You hear it?
It Mike's in a way, or I,
Yeah. Cindy, got anything?
Nope, other than congratulations to Sergeant Cope.
We're going to stop every time we listen.
Time we say Cope now.
Karen?
No, just thank you again to Caroline Main and Richard Jolly.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome job.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Mr. Feder?
Yeah, I was going to thank Caroline and Richard and also Officer Dow and Officer Chartier for going above and beyond. You guys saved this lady's life, and that's good. It's nice to see people willing to go the extra mile to help others. And also, congratulations, Bill. I know it was a surprise for you. That's awesome.
Mr. Kruger?
I'm good.
Good. Did we surprise you, Bill? A little bit? Good. I'm glad.
He's not going to tell you.
Good. We wanted to make it a surprise for you. So I hope you accept it.
Follow him out and watch him
Hey,
jump.
what if he doesn't want the, what if he doesn't want the job?
He already took it.
Yeah, he already took it. It's too late. Too late.
Rip that badge off way too quick not to take it.
All right, anything for next meeting, Clay Township, June 20th here, 7:30. One more motion.
To adjourn, motion to adjourn.
Support.
Okay, all in favor? Ayes? Let's get out of here.
Aye.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
This is separate. I gotta come and see you go around, huh?
Are those the two kids?
You need
Yeah. What,
to get
hiring?
lawyers on.
I gotta come and see you before you run out of here, but